I hit record.
Okay. All right. Is this the first time you've made a presentation on Zoom?
It is.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Um, it's basically we just talk as we feel free. I think your presentation is 5 to 7, maybe 10 minutes max. I think Zoom cuts us out after about 20 minutes. We get messages. And one of you leads the talking, and if I ask any questions, you can defer to anyone. And your slides look really great. So I kind of thumbed through them earlier. And who's doing the major talking here?
I will.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know the rubric, so you're off.
All right. All right, so good afternoon and welcome to the debut of the Future of Nail Polishing. I'm Lisandro Vasquez and I'm speaking to you on behalf of the members of Team HIPPO. Members include Kelly Merkel, Kayla Petrie, Trish Patterson, and of course, Juliana Vasquez, my wife. All right, so the product that we're going to bring to you this afternoon fills an untapped need in the professional woman's world. Now, before we unveil this untapped market need, I want you to consider the huge potential and growth of the nail polish and salon industry. Now, this segment has been growing continuously for years. In fact, over the last 5 years alone, the industry has grown by 37%, and the quantity of dollars is exceptional as well. From 2012 to 2013, the polish market grew from $7.47 billion to $8.28 billion. Now, when you consider the fact that most manicures typically cost anywhere from $20 to $50, sometimes more, it's clear that there's a great potential here. Today's professional women make up nearly 50% of the U.S. labor force, and they want to look good at work and home. And this point is driven home by the fact that 97% of nail salon customers are women. So, can everybody still hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so let's talk about today's women. With work, kids, family, friends, errands, on and on and on, who has time for nail salons? Today's women are so busy with balancing the rigors of the professional and personal lives, and yet they still are willing to take the time out of their constantly changing and packed full schedules to get a manicure. And here's some food for thought. Roughly 50% of nail techs won't even allow walk-ins. Can you believe it? There seems to be no relief from the stressors of today's quick pace. Auto HIPPO to the rescue. This ingenious, no, revolutionary product is the world's first fully automatic nail polish applicator and polish remover. Nothing like it comes close. It combines the latest in laser technology, processor advancement, and material science. It sounds great, right? But what does it do? All right, so I want you to think about Margaret. Margaret works downtown in an office. And after a long day, stressful day at work, Margaret comes home and she wants to go out, but she wants to look good going out, right? So she uses the touchscreen interface on the Auto HIPPO. She quickly selects the color of her choice, and then she gently places her fingers into the HIPPO, which then automatically scans and maps out the shape of her nails. Then, using similar principles to those used by laser printers, a small laser will etch out a negligibly charged area over the nail surface. Now keep in mind, Margaret's not going to feel a thing, and it happens quick and quiet. Now after this happens, a fine coating of powderized polish will be applied, which will only stick to the charged nail surface. What does that mean? It means that the excess polish can be quickly whisked away with no mess. So after you whisk away all that excess, a gentle and quick heat treatment is applied, which binds the polish to the nail. And then, boom, Margaret is ready to move again, all in less than 5 minutes. Again, it sounds good, right? But let's talk about the full potential of this product and what it means for others like Margaret. When you boil it down, the Auto HIPPO is the hero of convenience. Let's walk through what this product eliminates from Margaret's worries. She doesn't have to choose between work, family, friends, or an afternoon with the kids just because the only appointment available is at 5 p.m. She doesn't have to sit in traffic on the way to another hole-in-the-wall nail salon. Because the HIPPO does it all in 5 minutes, she has more time to live, work, play, and if she doesn't like the color that she's chosen, she can have a new color in just 5 short minutes later. Now with our powderized polish, there's no handling awkward glass bottles that threaten to spill polish all over clothes and carpets. There's no noxious fumes upon application or removal. And you know what? There's no messy cleanup. The HIPPO gives time back to today's busy women. So again, what's the potential? Consumer spending is up and incomes aren't too shabby either, with a median income of about $53,000 per year in the United States. How big is the market? Well, there are over 120 million women in the United States over the age of 18. And I remind you that 50% of our labor market is female, and these working professionals visit salons regularly. So who are we targeting? Because the HIPPO is just so darn convenient, we're going after the low-hanging fruit. Salons better take cover. We know that 61% of their customers are over the age of 36, and they are the ones who need the HIPPO's time-saving grace. They are today's working women. And our market research corroborated this desire for convenience, and it also brought in the following concerns and desires through the use of focus groups and surveys. Of course, consumers want the product to be safe and fast, and they don't want to pay more than $100. Got it. Done. We'll talk more about the pricing in a moment. They want customization of color and design. This is where subsequent generations are going to come into play. The second generation is going to allow for striping and other geometric designs, and a proposed third generation HIPPO may even allow for polishing of toes for that flashy sandal wear. HIPPO shoppers overwhelmingly would prefer to buy this product at conventional brick and mortar stores such as department stores and beauty supply retailers. So Dillard's, Macy's, Ulta, and Sephora. Though roughly 29% did express interest in e-shopping venues. And of course, they want the time savings. They want the HIPPO to deliver in under 5 minutes. So how do we get this revolutionary product to market, and when can we sell it? Well, beginning last month and continuing on through this month entailed conceptualizing, the market needs report, project charter approval, and of course, we'll begin research and development. Now, in early 2015, research and development will continue, and it's going to lead into safety trials. And by the autumn of next year, final testing should be underway, and we'll get sponsor approval. And then shortly after, we'll start manufacturing, and we'll get the HIPPO out to retailers for a November 1st, 2015 launch date. So again, we're targeting women, and we're looking for the following segments: ages 25 to 44 and 45 to 65, today's working women. We'll launch our ad campaign for the HIPPO with the majority of our efforts in funding and television. And then to a lesser extent, we'll launch with radio, print, and digital. Now, the November 1st launch date is desired in order to get our product out there and allow for market saturation of the HIPPO's existence through our ad campaign. Now, of course, we're going to ramp up for Black Friday, and we're going to do that around November 11th, 2015. So let's talk the numbers here. How will the HIPPO profit the firm? We're going to take advantage of the relative stability and still cheap labor markets of China. We'll manufacture and assemble the auto HIPPO in Shenzhen, China, which will keep costs down, and it'll also keep transportation costs down due to its proximity to deep water ports. And it'll also allow for ease of access of capital markets and travel, because Hong Kong is just a short trip over the water. Now, we anticipate that the HIPPO is going to cost $80.77. Now, of course, with our future research and development efforts, we'll be able to lower that cost a little bit, and we'll also be able to get competition through suppliers in Shenzhen. Now, the people demanded the HIPPO for less than $100, and that's what we're going to give them. The HIPPO will cost $95 at launch. Now, due to the late launch of the HIPPO next year in 2015, revenues will start off slow, but then they'll quickly ramp up into the $100 million range by late 2016, and will stay at that level until 2019, of course, assuming that there's no significant downturn in market conditions. And the HIPPO should yield net incomes in the $20 million range for years 2016 through 2019. The auto HIPPO. Women want it. It's the first of its kind, and there are no direct competitors. And this will give our firm the market-leading potential that we need. Nail salons better take cover. I thank you for your time, and now I'd like to open up the floor for questions.
All right. Okay. By the way, your development timeline was not expected. I was glad to see that. Must be an engineer in there in your group or something. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. A couple of questions. In reality, where is the growth? You're talking about the size of the market, but you're only talking U.S. numbers, correct?
Yes, sir.
Why is there such a growth in a nail polish business? And were you talking about the salon business, or how was that broken up? Do you recall?
The 37% was the salon business.
You were talking salon business.
Right, and that's who we're targeting because that's where today's professionals are going because they want a professional job done.
Okay. Did you mention anything about second generation products?
Yes, so the second generation is when we're going to incorporate different features like striping and other geometric patterns, which was that's what the focus group brought up, and that's what they wanted to see. And then the third generation, as long as everything is still going well up in the first and second generation, we're going to go for maybe toes. So we'll see where the market takes us. Right?
Okay. I'm curious, where did you get your demographic numbers?
I'm going to defer this question to the other members of Team HIPPO.
Okay. And while you're thinking about that, whoever it is specifically, the age group, 36 to 45 was X percent, and 46 something was 37%.
I can take that. I'm happy to do it. So what we did is we went with market research that takes place every year from the big book of nails and stats.
Yes.
And they actually broke down the demographics very specifically in those exact numbers. And so as Leo said, we were going to go for the low-hanging fruit, and we found that the busiest group of women that were out there were actually the largest group of demographics also. And they would also be the workforce demographics along with the parents and the families and all that other stuff they had going on. So we took that information from an annual statistics that comes out on nail salons.
Okay. Comprendo, ich verstehe.
Yes.
Is that pretty close?
Pretty close.
Okay, pretty close. All right. I noticed that your margins went down from, I think, 16% all to 11% for that time period. Why does the gross margin go down? Is there no learning or experience curve here in the manufacturing, or is that why is that?
I'll take that. This is Trish speaking.
Yeah, Trish.
Basically, the reason why it went down is because you're looking 5 years into the future, and we were trying to keep our sale price less than the $100, and so our margins decreased a little, somewhat, keeping the sale price down, but not expecting a huge decrease in the cost, just because we're unfamiliar with how the product's going to be manufactured and just looking at the costing of the product. So to be reasonable, we decided to, okay, we'll hold the sale price and increase the cost just a little bit year over year, because there will be operating cost increase, material cost increase. So it's just an assumption that we made.
Well, another thing with that is we anticipate bringing in the second generation of the HIPPO within the next 5 years to keep market excitement. And again, like Trish said, the focus group says they want this product less than $100, and yet the second generation, we're going to be bringing in a few more features. Now, we're hoping that with a solicitation of bids from suppliers in Shenzhen, and once we work out the quirks in the product, we'll be able to bring down costs initially. And then once we bring in the new features, of course, it's going to raise the cost of goods slightly, but we've still got to keep that cost below $100. And that's what our initial research is showing. And that's also a reason why our margins are going down slightly, because we're bringing in more features, but we want to keep that price down.
Okay. All right. Just one quick question. Your market segments, your primary market segment is U.S. Salons and in the 2 age groups you mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
All
yes.
Right. What would be your secondary and maybe tertiary also market segments? Would they be international markets? Would they be anything? What would they be?
I can take that as far as the segmentation of the market goes. So I would, after we get out that low-hanging fruit from the working women of the country, we then could move down. As the second generation comes out, it's going to have user features and other benefits to it. So then we could expand our user base to the younger groups. to perhaps a 16 to 26 market that perhaps has the spending cash to purchase it. I think once we get through the cadre of women from 16 to 65, which show the largest, really encompass all the folks going to salons at that point, then we jump to international markets.
Okay. In reality, less than 36 years of age, don't you expect to spill over by teenagers buying it or having it bought for them or whatever?
Yes, quite honestly.
And that would be with the second generation too, because it's going to have more customization and more cool features.
That the younger generation will probably find more appealing in the second generation, being able to do the art on the fingernails. There are some pictures.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did mention that. Yeah.
Yes, and the things
Less conventional.
yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Y'all have any questions for me while we're recording?
No, sir?
No questions.
Okay.
Question.
All right. Well, I thought it was very well presented. Leo, you did a good job. No question about that. All of you did. You all were prepared. And I think you can stop the recording if you haven't already.